Today is day 46, ladies and gentlemen, of our 1000 Dawns, and today is the day where things start to be moving in a very particular direction. So, what do I mean by that? Well, let me run you through a very interesting chain of events, because it's been a very interesting day in many ways than one, because I did not exactly get the best morning sleep when I came home from work. So I came home from work at 5:30 in the morning, and I woke up at about 11 o'clock. So I got about, we'll call it just shy of about 5.5 hours. And apparently, by the time I got downstairs, I got told that I looked dreadful, like really, really tired. So I went for my first brief walk of the day, came home at midday, and then got straight to work, just doing videos and doing a lot of admin work. Because I kind of like to fit two maintenance days now in a week nowadays. Mostly because there is an awful lot of admin and a lot of paperwork to go through, and there's going to be even more of that sort of thing to come because of what happened earlier today. Is that earlier today, and I'm going to be a little bit vague about the details for this one, but earlier today I said, you know what, screw it, I'm actually going to throw my hat into the ring for this. And basically, I'm going to have a phone call tomorrow afternoon at about 1 o'clock because I'm going to see exactly what we can do in terms of, can I get my own board game in development. I know it's it all sounds a little, like it all. I know it sounds like a little bit of a pipe dream in many ways. However, what I'm going to do is that when I next get paid, I am actually going to print my own print my own copy of the game, so that I can have something physical, and then I can play with my family just to see what they thought. I had to tick off today's date because in my mind, ladies and gentlemen, one, because it's about like next week is when it happens. In terms of, when I get paid and stuff like that. Because there is like a few things, in terms of like graphic design work, I have to polish it up, because I have done like a prototype of the board, because the board is probably the most complicated part of the procedure. I've tried to keep everything, try to keep it as simple as humanly possible. And what is the advantage of keeping it simple, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it means that with not many moving parts, there's very little about it that can't be picked up and played just about any time. The only things that I'll have to see about is like the price of the board, because there is a little bit of like text running on it. It's not necessary, but at the same time, it's kind of there anyway. And then anyway, sorry, where was I? All that, as well as well, I will have to like again tidy up the text. It's ironically, it's probably been the first time in about 10 years I've actually had to like really go for really make a labor of love out of doing like graphic design work, which, to be honest, I thought would suit me quite well. But because it really is, that there could be something in it if things go well. If it doesn't go well, or rather when I have the call tomorrow, it may not. Whether or not it works, we'll have to see what it thinks. I have, however, made the claim, ladies and gentlemen, that the reason why I've kept the game as simple as it humanly, like, not only because it has a very simple rule base to it, but guess what? It means that in the event of basically me having to give a business pitch tomorrow, it means that I can explain it very easily, and I can explain it using very, very simple words and phrases. It's best to keep things as basic as they can. And finally, just explain that, well, honestly, I initially anticipated the idea of crowdfunding as like 250 quid to start off with, because I think for 250 quid, I think we could probably afford to like maybe make maybe about 100 physical copies of No, maybe not. Maybe something about maybe 125, stuff like that. Because outside of the board, a single dice. There's also two 10-sided dice that are needed to play this. So we'll have to wait and see how that works out. Though, mind you, one thing I have also it's sprung into my mind a little bit about this is because there are 100 squares to this. I did also explain a little bit in the brief and in the rules is that you can actually have the entire board narrowed down to being only 36 squares. And basically what that means is that you could just have two 6-sided dice and you're away. Now the advantage is it basically kills two birds with one stone, is that you could already double down and probably create a smaller board, have even fewer pieces with it, and you could probably reduce the cost for it again because it's going to be on a smaller board. You know what I mean? Just a little bit of lateral thinking has come about, and we might have come up with a solution that might well and truly suffice. Of course, what exactly the impression of the phone call will probably be tomorrow, I can only wait and see. But on the whole, because it has been an idea that's kind of been stuck in the recesses of my mind for about 5 years, I don't think it's necessarily a bad one. But what would it be like when we take it forwards? That's going to be the big one. But hopefully over the next couple of months, because I'll probably be mentioning it, because one thing they did actually ask me in the email when they asked me to just sort of like give a bit of a brief overview about the game, the rules, how long do you expect? Like, because my original idea is that if all goes according to plan, I want to be able to possibly get this thing maybe in stores, maybe circulate a little bit by roughly the beginning of October, because the holiday season is always when board games are probably in high demand. And if we can get it to that point, then there might be something, even if it was just local, that could be a little bit of user research just to see. I mean, realistically, I probably could, even for the 100 square one, I couldn't imagine the game not selling for anything more than about £5-6 being realistic, and it costing about maybe 150 to like manufacture or something like that. So we're talking about, so I think it's something like gross profit of 450 and probably nets of at least maybe a quid per board or stuff like that. It's just going to depend how well all this goes. I'm sure it's probably not anywhere close to that. However, they also then asked me about ad fees and stuff like that. And here's an interesting little quip I thought about, guys. Because not only do I do YouTube, but I do TikTok, but I do other channels on YouTube as well. And I know it sounds stupid, but guess what? It's pretty much free advertising. Free advertising at a little cost, but it can also go a very, very long distance. I know that may not sound much, but then again, think about it like this way. I could also submit my game off to other board game YouTube channels that specialize in testing games like this. I could even probably maybe do like a live stream or something like that over TikTok or on Twitch, just to showcase to the world exactly what this is all about. I know it might well and truly come to nothing. However, I think it's still I think it's a little bit of a quirky idea. Not only to not only the way I've done it, not only why I've done it, but also where can we go with this? Because somebody may turn around and say, "Well, hang on a second. You've been sitting on this idea for 5 years, and it seems like you're only really going about asking for like professional advice just because you feel like you're almost at the end of the road with it." Which is a valid point, but at the same time, I've never really asked like a professional opinion about it, so maybe there's a place to start. mind you, whether or not this really does come up to standard or anything like that is one thing, because, well, whilst I could see something like this happening, well, we'll just have to wait and see, because this could immediately open the floodgates to like other ideas for board games. But let's see if we could get this one, Drop Zone, off the ground, ironically. So with that being said, to be honest, I should call it Danger Zone instead. It's a bit more striking, a bit more sassy, if you will. But in the meantime, I will see all of you guys again next time. Thank you.